We welcome you in here to Newman Catholic High School in central Wisconsin, in Wausau to be specific, as we have a good matchup for you here tonight. It is a battle within the Merriwood South Conference between these Auburndale Eagles and the home Newman Catholic Fighting Cardinals here on Zaleski Sports. Thank you again for joining. My name is Connor Philippi. As we take a look at both of these two teams, a little bit of ways into the year now, we're starting to see a little bit of these sample sizes. These teams are starting to play their own conference a lot more. And so we start here with the away Auburndale Eagles, as they are currently 2-3 on the season. And they are trying to recover from that most recent loss to Delavan Darien. They have a few different matchups so far in the regular season where they have already played some teams within this Merriwood South Conference. We'll talk about some of those measuring sticks and how we can compare these two teams in just a little bit. But taking a look at some of these top performers for the Auburndale Eagles, as we have, of course, top scorer Will Akins so far with 15.4 points per game. Josh Lundgren with 13.4 and Peyton Weinfurter 12.4. So you notice those top three scorers are all pretty even. This team likes to spread the ball around a lot. For rebounds, we have Will Akins also leading with 8.4 rebounds per game. Jackson Gruby with 5.8 and Josh Lundgren also in that list with 5.2. Lundgren leads in assists with 4.8, Akins 3.4, and Peyton Weinfurter with 2 even. We take a look here at the home Newman Catholic Fighting Cardinals, as they are currently 2-4 on the season, and they're 2-1 within the conference. Should note that Auburndale, sitting at 3-2 overall, is 2-1 within that same conference. So both teams 2-1 in the Merriwood South. And their last game was against Northland Pines. They've been kind of going one win, one loss throughout the last few games. Over the last 5, a loss to Marathon, victory versus Phillips, a loss to Northeast Wisconsin Christian Homeschool Athletics Association, as they are listed here on the Bound website, and then a win against Abbotsford, followed by a loss against Northland Pines. So they have been kind of trying to get some consistency throughout the course of this season. And so for this Newman Catholic team, we have Quincy Fender, who had an absolute amazing performance the last time I called a Newman Catholic game. He is always the star player to look for in that number 0 spot on the court. He is scoring 23.7 points per game. Lucas Piffner is scoring 16.8 points per game, and Griffin Pent with 7.8. As for rebounds, Lucas Piffner leads that category, 7.5. He does a lot of his work underneath the basket. And Fender is, of course, in second place with 5.8 rebounds per game. Griffin Pence with 4.2. Fender also leads in assists with 3.2 per game. Piffner with 2.7 and Pent with 2.2. And so we've got just a few more seconds left to go before we start to announce these players. Today's starting lineup is presented by Ted Fox, certified financial planner and proud Newman basketball parent. So we once again thank you for tuning into Zaleski Sports and hope you enjoy this battle between the Eagles and the Fighting Cardinals here on this Friday night. We'll turn things over now to the PA.
Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Newman Catholic High School, home of your Cardinals. In addition to the game tonight, we'll also be celebrating Parents' Night of Newman basketball athletes at halftime. Today's boys varsity match features the visiting Eagles from Auburndale High School. And your Newman Catholic Cardinals! Newman Catholic High School, Auburndale High School, the Merriwood Conference and the WIAA require good sportsmanship and education-based interscholastic events. The attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. As is tradition at Newman Catholic High School, we ask those who are able to stand and join us in prayer. Strong and faithful God, as we come together for this contest, we ask you to bless these athletes. Keep them safe from injury and harm, instill in them respect for each other, and reward them for their perseverance. Lead us all to the rewards of your kingdom, where you live and reign forever and ever. Amen. To honor America and those defending our freedom, we ask you to remain standing, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart for the playing of the national anthem. At this time, we'd like to introduce the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Eagles from Auburndale. A senior guard, number 1, Peyton Blackford. Junior guard, number 4, Ray Teska. Senior guard, number 21, Joshua Lundgren. Junior forward, number 23, William Akins. And a junior forward, number 32, Jackson Ruby. The Eagles are coached by Chad Whiteford. And now, the starting lineup for your Newman Catholic Cardinals. Starting a senior guard, number 0, Quincy Bender. Senior guard, number 1, Lucas Piffner. A senior guard, number 2, Griffin Pence. A senior guard, number 3, Damian Pence. And a senior forward, number 5, Lucas Erdman. The Cardinals are coached by Jeff Ness and assisted by Jim Baker and Jake Kieski. The officials for today's game.
And so all that's left to do here is tip things off from from Newman Catholic High School as they go up against these Auburndale Eagles. Thanks again for tuning in. Connor Philippi with you here on the call on this Friday night, 7:16, the official tip-off time here from Central Wisconsin. Ready or not, here we go on Zaleski Sports. Newman Catholic starts out with it. Fender starts out with it again, that top scorer for Newman Catholic. He will step back here, get it out to Griffin Pent. And now is Lucas Piffner with it. Taking the 3 is Griffin Pent. Hand it off to Fender that time. I'll do my best to differentiate between between Griffin and Damian Pent throughout the course of the night. As the floater goes up off the mark, rebounded there by Akins. Chad Weinfurter, the head coach of this Auburndale team, he won News Channel 7's Basketball Coach of the Year last season and took Auburndale to the 3rd round of the playoffs, which would be the Sweet 16, if you will, of the Wisconsin tournament. 64 teams enter. One winds up the champion. This one gets tipped up and stolen away by the Fighting Cardinals, as Damian Pent was the one that fought for it that time. Got it over to Erdman, who puts up the awkward shot that was forced by an Auburndale defender. And that is going to lead to an Auburndale ball. Auburndale 24-4 last season at the end of it all. Lost to Bondul 56-44 in that third round. Ball rolls out of bounds. Will stay with Auburndale. From the baseline, floating this one all the way up to Teska near the top of the key. He'll go up against Fender here, work away from it. Now Lundgren surveys. Swung around to Weinfurter. Can't take that three. Struggling underneath the basket early on. From the corner, though, it is drained. And that is Lundgren who gets it to go. And he gets on the board for the first time in this game, 2 minutes in, and our first score. Piffner now goes for three. That one off the front of the rim. Rebounded quickly by Weinfurter. Got it quickly to Akins, and he's going to draw the foul for the first foul of the game and the first free throws of the game. They're going to get that one against Fender for his first of the game. Certainly not a player you want frequently fouling at any point, as that first free throw is up and good. That one will roll in as well. Most notable changes to Auburndale's lineup. Lost 5 seniors last season. Aiden and Blake Rayab, 2 of their top performers last season. And of course Blake being their top scorer per game for the team, and graduated last year as that shot is up, bouncing off. And so they're kind of finding their new identity in the early part of the season, as this one is drained by Fender. Fender, again, 23.7 points per game for this Newman Catholic team in that 84-44 victory versus Phillips. A couple weeks ago, watched him put up an absolute clinic in that one. Lundgren from the baseline, now up top. Got it over to Weinfurter. Under a lot of pressure there. And now outlet over to Lundgren again. They're finding those outlet passes, but not really able to set up much early on here. As it's stolen away, Piffner will start back with it. Got it over to Fender. Works away from a few. He's being double teamed early on here. Not surprised, as Piffner got the pass in. It was off, though, of Erdman out of bounds. And the Eagles will get it right back. A couple Auburndale players over there to talk with Coach Weinfurter. So Weinfurter, the player, will toss this one over to Lundgren. Up top, defended by Griffin Pent. This one off. Looks like Newman Catholic opting to go, as this one's either a travel or a jump ball, and it will be a jump ball. But Newman Catholic early on electing to go with a more man-to-man approach against this Auburndale team. And both teams representing the Merriwood South Conference. Auburndale currently in second, Newman Catholic in fourth out of 6 teams, as that one bounces off. Rebounded by Piffner, who wastes no time back down the court and gets it in for 2. Piffner was also a major factor in that beatdown over Phillips earlier on in the season. Up top here to Lundgren, now back out. Will be a big story throughout the course of this one. How well can Auburndale operate underneath the basket? Early on, these taller, bigger players for Newman Catholic holding their own against equally sizable Eagle players underneath, as this one will float up. No good. It will be off of the Cardinals. One of those plays that just becomes too close to call, even when you're right there next to it. All the way out here to Lundgren. He stares down Fender. And now a little bit of a zone switch up here. That close in, forcing Auburndale to open things up here. Underneath the basket, the putback is good, and Auburndale, if they're going to be able to get those opportunities underneath the basket with offensive rebounds, that could be a major factor if they continue to struggle on those first chance points under the basket. Great way to combat that is to get those opportunities right under the basket off of missed shots. They got Piffner on that offensive foul. That'll send things back Eagles' way, that with a 7-5 lead early on here on the NTC scoreboard. Into the corner here, Lundgren gets it away. Graysack now in the game. He is a freshman, 6'1" for this Auburndale team, and the only freshman on the starting roster. Lundgren drives in, but again, can't find much real estate in that red part of the court. Lundgren once again with the ball, looking for an opportunity, now trying to find one there. Graysack can't get it again, and now Lundgren will drive. And Auburndale, it feels like Newman Catholic, as this one goes up and in. William Akins gets it to go. Akins using that 6'4" frame. And he is going to be important in this one, just in sheer terms of size and height in that part of the court. Newman Catholic seems to be pretty content up to this point with letting Auburndale shoot from beyond the arc if they so choose, to try and limit more of those opportunities like we just saw from advantageous parts of the court. Deep three for Fender, rolls off. Lundgren up top. Spin move, almost got it stripped away. Once again, poking at it that time was Griffin Pent, but still possession for the Eagles. Another attempt to break away, and this time it's going to result in a turnover, almost a jump ball a couple different times, but this time Piffner winds up with it. He drives in and has to just toss it up. No travel called there. It was a close one, but 2 more points there. 4 now on the game so far for Piffner. Obviously small sample size, but he leads on the night so far. It brings the lead back down to 2 for the Eagles. 3-point shot quickly from the corner, and that one was not going to go. A rush shot that time, forced by that good perimeter defense, as Fender will hand it off to Piffner. Working against Sievers, who's now in the game. Sievers, a senior, 5'8" for Auburndale. Even with those departures, as that's going to be another offensive foul called here against Newman Catholic. Even with some of those departures we saw last season, Auburndale still with 4 seniors on the team. And also 5 juniors, 2 sophomores, and a freshman. So they still are pretty top-heavy in terms of seniority and leadership on this team. And that is important, of course, all juniors and seniors heading up the starting 5 for both teams. In fact, every single starter for Newman Catholic was a senior. Newman Catholic has 7 seniors as there's a battle for the ball, and it's going to be a jump ball called. Auburndale operating with a slightly smaller unit of varsity players. And it's always interesting to see how JV versus varsity always works out. Some teams prefer to keep that pool bigger on their varsity squad. Some teams prefer to just have their core of 8 to 10 guys and then call up their varsity or JV players as they go. Driving in, putting it up is Piffner. Can't get it to go that time as Lundgren with the rebound. They want to go quickly as Teska now has it. Fakes the shot, goes under the basket, and a perfect pass and a good shot there by Gruby. Just gets it right over there, tiptoeing by the baseline and just having that vision to be able to see his teammate throughout all the bodies. Two juniors on that play, and that's some of the chemistry you see between a lot of these teams that have been playing with each other for a while. Some of these younger teams, a little bit of a struggle to get that kind of connection. But you have that rapport between players, three-pointers up, bouncing off. Piffner takes it down again, trying to get a pick, but under pressure now, getting it out to Zerwanka, who's in the game now. Zerwanka, a junior. Out now to Griffin Pent. The pass in and the layup for Erdman. As Pent finds Erdman, it's 11-7. 9 actually now for Newman Catholic. Back to a 2-point game. It's been back and forth between 2 points and 4 points lately. As we're now 7.5 down, or 7.5 away, I should say, from halftime. Been a pretty quick moving first half so far. 4 fouls total for Newman Catholic and not a single one committed by Auburndale. And it looks like they're going to get another offensive foul here against Newman Catholic. They've been really struggling with those fouls on the opposite end of the court. Zerwanka charged with it that time. Coming out of the game here is Griffin Pent and Lucas Erdman. As Damian Pence now in the game. Everett Pent is also in the game, by the way, as this one's missed. A battle for it, and eventually won by Piffner. He will drive in, puts up the shot, and somehow gets that one to go. My goodness. Off balance. What felt like he didn't really shoot it or even think about shooting it until he was almost back on the ground, and he still somehow got it to go. When you can get those highly contested shots in, it makes it really difficult to stop. Tied at 11 now with another turnover here for Newman Catholic. Fender gets it out to Damian here. Fender back with it up top. Nice feed in, and he will draw the foul. Damian Pent trying to get his first points of the game, and it is the first foul committed by Auburndale this entire game.
Ball for Auburndale, 23 Atkins, his first.
Going to be against Atkins. As that one will find its way in. Coming back in here is Gruby. And it looks like it's going to be Graysack taking a break. Reminder here, scoreboard is sponsored by NTC. To thank them for sponsoring Zaleski Sports. Lundgren got it over there to Teska. Seen that Teska and Gruby, connection so far in this one. We'll see if that happens again as Akins gets it out this time to Lundgren, who drains the three. Just under 6 to go now, and Auburndale has their lead right back. Piffner gets a pick. Nice feed in, and that was one of those plays as Everett Pent gets it in that you know they designed in practice. That was very well designed and executed with multiple passes within the paint. Teska on the near side, swings it around to Weinfurter. Lundgren back to Teska. Quick passes along the perimeter. Puts up the shot, that one bouncing off, and one there by Fender. Back the other way, and a foul will be called. Looks like they got Gruby on that one. These are some of those fouls you just don't want to commit, as Auburndale still only has 2. Nothing necessarily to worry about. You see a lot of them going against Newman Catholic this way, where sometimes there are good fouls and sometimes there are, the majority of the time I should say, there are fouls you don't want to commit. A lot of those just completely unnecessary fouls we're seeing for both sides the last couple minutes. Retreating here. Now Teska working against Damian Pence, hands off to Akins, who loses it out of bounds, and it's going to be Newman Catholic ball again. They'll try and build off of their lead for the first time here tonight. Griffin Pent will come in for Damian as a timeout now will be called. And we will take a timeout with them, and we'll be right back here on Zaleski Sports.
Are you tired of being a boring old tree, bird, or mythical war hero? Find the right job for you at Express Employment. Stop today and discuss positions that fit your abilities and qualifications, leading you to the perfect job. Always local, always strategically selected to match your skills. Employment professionals help you find it. In Wausau, Stevens Point, Medford, and Marshfield. Find jobs and apply online at expresspros.com.
Welcome back here to Zaleski Sports. Connor Philippi here on the call. 4:27 left to go in the first half. It's been a very quick first half so far. Most of those fouls have been kind of offensive fouls, kind of weird parts of the court, so not a lot of free throws. And very fast pace for both teams as well. Auburndale with the steal here. Teska taking it down. They'll wait for the play to develop. Lundgren will drive in and lays it in. Had too much forward momentum that time to really be stopped. Fender will get fouled. It's going to be another one here against Gruby. Now his second in the last minute or so, because he was the most recent foul to be called against Auburndale as well. 16-15 on the NTC scoreboard as Fender will work it once again. Makes a move, three-point shot rolls off. Akins grabs it. Back the other way, Euro step, and can't get it to go. Eventually almost gets forced out there, but able to get it in is Damian Pent with some good hustle on the rebound and finding that outlet. Now Griffin Pent will drive in. He puts up the shot. And that one went a little bit too high off the backboard. Raysack getting it over to Teska. Teska finding Weinfurter. Raysack. Outlet back out to Weinfurter. Auburndale playing it slow a little bit here, kind of just surveying to see what kind of penetration they can get as Teska tries to swing it around. It's knocked out by Newman Catholic, but out of bounds. It'll stay with a baseline throw-in for the Eagles. Certainly has been a battle for Auburndale to see how many creative ways they can get into the paint. Driving in here, they have not elected for very many three-point shots throughout the course of the night. This one gets stolen away. Back around to Fender, who lays it in. Fender-Piffner combination. Once again going strong. And now it's been a back and forth kind of night in terms of the lead. Putting up the shot, that one bouncing off. Newman Catholic trying to build a little bit of momentum here. Piffner handing this one back around. Faking the three is Fender. He retreats back out now. Up to the top of the key. Griffin Pence swings around now to Piffner. Nice feed into Erdman. Can't quite get the shot to go though. Kind of a weird type angle as this one gets poked away by Fender. He breaks away and puts up the two. It's a nice move there with that tightrope act to stay in bounds on the near side of the court. And 3 points now becomes the biggest lead of the night for Newman Catholic. And that's going to be a foul called against Piffner for the 6th of the half here for the Cardinals. That'll be the second, I believe, for him. So 2 against Fender, 2 against Piffner. Certainly something worth monitoring if that builds to 3 anytime soon for either of those players. But for now, nothing to worry about. Weinfurter. Fender staring him down. Now he tosses it over to Sievers. Sievers picks up his dribble, then gets it over to Bowman, who's in now. Bowman, a junior, 6'1" for Auburndale. Lundgren back around to Weinfurter. Coming up on 1 minute already to go in the first half. Very quick moving here. Weinfurter again with it. Swung it around to Lundgren. Weinfurter back up top, back around now to Lundgren. He gets it stolen away. And Pence. Now back over to Piffner. 37 seconds to go in the first. Putting up the short 2, and it's good from Griffin Pence. Pence gets on the board for the first time. And potentially the last shot of the half. We'll see if Auburndale tries to just hold here. But now being double teamed under pressure. Newman Catholic all over it, but unfortunately for them, a little too all over it as they will now commit the foul. See if they give him a 1-and-1 or if that counts as a shot. And it will be 2 shots. And now that is the 3rd for Piffner, just like I said, worth mentioning. As Piffner is now going to come out for the remainder of the half. Replaced there by Pence, and we'll keep an eye on that. Nails that second free throw. Newman Catholic still up 4 here with 7 seconds left. 3, 2, got to put up a shot here. Fender lofts it up, and it's in! How about that buzzer beater shot at the half? And Newman Catholic leads by 7. What an amazing shot there. And it really felt like he had an off-balance opportunity. Didn't feel like it had any chance, but with Quincy Fender, anything is possible. And just like that, Newman Catholic all over Auburndale in those last couple minutes. They lead again 24-17 at the half. We'll take a break here and be back in a few minutes to discuss this half, bring you some updates in terms of score around the league. You're watching Zaleski Sports.
I knew I wanted to start an agency that honored those small town values like relationships and service. Our mission is to sell insurance ethically and with integrity to protect our clients' needs today, tomorrow, and in the future.
Not everybody understands insurance, and it's a good day when I can help give peace of mind.
Working with Access Insurance, we are a team, so you don't just get one of us, you get all four of us. Access Insurance Agency, our business revolves around you.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Take your education out of the classroom and give New Spaces a spin. Wherever you are, North Central Technical College is there with flexible learning options, including rolling start dates and 100% online classes. Earn your degree around your life.
The first tube was bent in 1968 back in a garage by our house. Shortly after that, we moved into a rented space in a machine shop.
Moving into this building in 2000 at 90,000 square feet.
So right now we sit at 165,000 square feet.
150 employees. Every day we look at how grateful we are to be where we are, but we never forget where we started. Here at J&D Tube Benders, we're a full custom hydraulic tube manufacturer. We can do anything from your simple bent tube component to a fully welded assembly.
At Nicolet Bank, a great rate isn't new or trendy. Our Real Rewards checking has offered 3.00% annual percentage yield since 2011, earning customers over $30 million in interest. Join your friends and neighbors in experiencing Real Rewards checking and get excited to earn 3% more. See terms and apply at nicoletbank.com. Nicolet Bank. Real people, real conversations.
Elite Auto Care on Schofield Avenue in Weston offers the best in automotive care and repair. This locally owned and operated repair group features a full staff of ASE certified technicians. They are ready to handle all major and minor repairs to get you back on the road. For any make, any model vehicle, look to Elite Auto Care for repairs. From general maintenance and preventative care like oil changes and tire rotations, to those more challenging issues like air conditioning, brakes, and engine issues. Elite Auto also offers a full selection of tires to fit your vehicle needs. For your next auto needs, turn to Elite Auto Care, your local family-owned auto business, on Schofield Avenue in Schofield.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield. Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters.
At the Granite Shop, we take great pride in what we do. We offer high-quality natural stone granite as well as a huge selection of man-made stone. With full slabs as well as a variety of partial remnants, you'll have no problem finding the stone that was meant for you. Our high-end, high-quality granite, quartz, and marble is perfect for any kitchen, bathroom, or remodel need. We are locally owned and operated on County Road C near Stratford. We service all of Wisconsin.
Great Lakes Cheese in Wausau is hiring full-time second and third shifts with competitive starting wages and a pay increase every 90 days during your first year. Great Lakes Cheese invests in their employees. Apply today at jobs.greatlakescheese.com.
Did you know we carry chocolate that can help you stay strong and fit this holiday season?
have team members in our lives, whether it's this or that or friends, and he's my team member that look for my best interest. And he said, we're going to get you up walking without the walker. I'm like, oh, really? And he says, yeah, we are. I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart to Shai and his staff because they made the impossible seem possible.
Call to set up a free, no obligation evaluation. Next Step Prosthetics, the fit for you.
We welcome you back here to Newman Catholic High Schools. We got about 4 minutes remaining here in this halftime break. And we'll take this opportunity here to break down some of the other games going on throughout the state of Wisconsin, starting with Eau Claire Memorial beating number 7 ranked River Falls 88-56. That was a big one that just finished off about 30 minutes ago. That was a 6 o'clock start on Zaleski. Greenwood Granton. That's a little bit of a blowout there as Neilsville, the number 1 team ranked here on Zaleski, winning 39-6 towards the end of the first half. Marathon and Assumption, that's boys basketball. Yeah, that one is a 32-25 lead for Marathon over Assumption towards the end of that first half. And we will put that on shelf for just a little bit. It's taking a little bit longer than I would have wished for those score updates to be coming in as I'm switching between the live streams. I don't want you to have to sit through a bunch of dead air as I try and wait for those things to load. So instead we'll talk about how this game is going so far, the last 2.5 of the halftime break. As Newman Catholic going into this game with a lot to prove. Again, going into this one 2-4. It's a Merriwood South Conference battle. As we take a look quickly here at the Merriwood South, Marathon currently leading with a 4-0 overall, of course a 3-0 record. Auburndale in second, 3-2, 2-1. Assumption 2-1, 3-3 overall, and Newman Catholic also 2-1 in the conference, but 2-4 overall. That is kind of the tiebreaker between those 3 teams. So not much separating these two in terms of conference standings. It would be a huge victory for Newman Catholic to improve to 3-1 in the conference. They're hoping to make a statement here and get that much closer to getting to 500 on the season so far. 3-4 looks a whole lot different than 2-5 if you can get this victory, and Newman Catholic has been doing it a lot of different ways. The biggest way, though, scoring off of turnovers. They have had a lot of takeaways from Fender and Piffner that have resulted in some fast break points. You do not want to have to play Quincy Fender. Well, I guess I could just stop that sentence right there, but especially on the fast break, you do not want to have to go up against him when he is streaking down the court. He has that just very perfect blend of athleticism and height that he can do pretty much everything on the court, and he has been able to get a lot of takeaways so far here tonight. On top of that, this Newman Catholic team seems to be doing a very good job of battling in the paint, and it feels like they are getting a lot more of those close shots, not necessarily easy layups, but a lot of those shots where it's just a few feet from right around that paint area. It just feels like those shots are falling more for Newman Catholic, and Auburndale are just really struggling to get that penetration underneath the basket. You've got players like Jackson Gruby that really, on top of that, you just have the size of Joshua Lundgren as well. They need to have more success underneath the basket if they're going to get back into this game, because Auburndale has nailed a couple from beyond the arc, but they just don't seem to really have that perimeter offense so far in this one, unless they find some way to start draining more of those threes, getting more of those lower percentage long range shots. Really the only other option is to start winning those battles under the court. And you saw it multiple times at the very beginning of the game, getting those second chances underneath the basket on those offensive rebounds will be a big factor as well. But Auburndale does start with possession. Still 18 full minutes to go. 7 points is nothing in the game of basketball. Excited to bring you through the second half. Again, Connor Philippi with you on Zaleski. Just as I say that, popping the three, no good. Rebounded here by Griffin Pence. Beyond the arc here, Piffner. He puts up that shot, doesn't get anywhere close off the deflection by Lundgren. Eventually getting the rebound, and then the foul called immediately. If that's going to be against Piffner, that is a problem. And they do get it against Damian Pence. That would have been brutal if it had been the 4th foul of the game already for Piffner. But even so, you got one of your starting 5 with 3 fouls, 2 more of your starting 5 with 2 fouls. They're starting to rack up a little bit here. Certainly worth monitoring, as another foul is now going to be called against Newman Catholic. And I'm really starting to speak this into existence, as it is now against Piffner. That's his 4th of the game. They're going to take him out here out of precaution. 17 minutes still to play. He's 1 foul away. Everett Pent will come in his place. And again, we see so many of these fouls are not happening right underneath the basket. Wide open 3 is up and off the back of the rim. It's just so many of these fouls are happening beyond the arc or in transition, and it's just not the way you want to commit fouls if you're a team like this that has so much potential to make an impact underneath the basket. You don't want Piffner out of this game with how well that style of defense has been playing throughout the course of this thing. Griffin Pence trying to get in. Instead, he'll get it over to Fender, who puts up a off-balance shot. A lot of contact, but nothing coming there. Back the other way is Auburndale, and this one is going to be executed to perfection. Looks like that was the pass from Akins to Lundgren for 2. And Lundgren now with double-digit points on the night. He joins Quincy Fender as the 2 players with 10 or more so far here this evening. All 4 other starters for Newman Catholic with an even 2. Auburndale a little more top-heavy with 10, 7, and 2. Their 3 top scorers so far. Everett Pent gets it up top to Fender. Into the corner, Erdman. He gets the pick, puts up the floater, can't get it to go. And Auburndale trying to double up on points here, only down 5. 3-pointer is up, bouncing in. Cutting it to 2 very quickly here are these Auburndale Eagles, coming back with a vengeance. And Newman Catholic still searching for their first points of the second half. Here is Fender. Trying to drive off pressure, instead backs himself into the corner. Has to swing it around to Damian Pent. Easy pass in, and 2 for Griffin Pent. That was all too easy. Kind of caught napping there underneath the basket. That'll happen sometimes when you're double teaming the guy with the ball. Here's Akins putting up the 2. That one somehow rolls off, going hard to the floor, but getting up there is Gruby. Back the other way, putting up the shot. How did he get that one to go? Fender keeps putting up these shots that, it's like that Steve Kerr reaction from way back in 2016 where he puts his hands up and then just all he can do is put his hands on his head because it went in. In the corner here is Lundgren. Working away from the pressure. Good reverse over to Teska. He's going to draw the foul and head to the line.
Foul for Newman, number 4, Everett his first team third.
That'll be the first foul of the game for Everett Pent. That's now 3 on the half for Newman Catholic. Just under 4 minutes through so far in this second half, as the first shot is up and good. Second one bounces off, but the rebound and another foul is going to be called. And just when Newman Catholic thought they were going to skate away with only 1 point off that foul. Potential for 3 total on this possession now if Aikens can get it done. That one bouncing off. Man, I just am not learning with this announcer's jinx thing. I've been doing this for way too long. I apologize to William Aikens there. That's on me. Second one does go, and so 2 trips to the free throw line, 4 total shots, and 2 go in. And it's a 4-point game. Fender double teamed early there past the timeline. He gets it away. And then that will result in an errant pass and laying it in. No, it doesn't go. The putback, though, does from Lundgren. That's now 15 on the night for Lundgren. Fender. 2 straight possessions being pressured by that timeline. Now another potential takeaway forced, and the foul is going to be called. Looks like they're going to get that one against Lundgren, but even with a couple of these fouls, it's the first of that entire half, and Auburndale will take a couple of those fouls that they rack up if it means they're getting this kind of pressure, this kind of almost frenzied reaction from these Newman Catholic Cardinals. Find some way to break out of it. Wide open 3. No good from the corner, but ripped away by Erdman. Now the 3 rolling off again. That time it was off of Fender. Erdman gets it back again for Newman Catholic. Now driving in is Fender. He puts up the floater. No good again. And this time Fender can't get the rebound. In fact, he's going to be called this time for the foul. What an effort by Erdman that ends up not seeing any kind of payback. A wide open 3-pointer in the corner, and then Fender puts a 3-pointer up of his own. So Auburndale has been all over it here on defense. And so far we've seen them outscore Newman Catholic 9-4 early on in this second half. 3-pointer is now up, and that one well off. Somehow getting it back in, and that one will roll in. What an effort there on that offensive rebound. Newman Catholic wasn't going to touch it because they knew it was on its way out and off of Auburndale, but what an offensive effort there, somehow finding the open player, and the floater goes up, no good. And that was even off of Fender, probably not a shot you'd want to take in that situation. Kind of just puts it up as a floater. Didn't necessarily need to go up there, as that one's now good. And Auburndale is on a tear here. A timeout's going to be called here for Newman Catholic as Auburndale outscoring this Newman Catholic team 13-4 out of the halftime break. We'll take a quick step away and be right back here on Zaleski Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fear, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Welcome back here to Zaleski Sports. Connor Philippi on the call as we are in the thick of things here in this game and in the basketball season here on Zaleski Sports. Plenty as well of hockey action going on. But it's all basketball here tonight as we have some good matchups, and we got a good one going 30-28 in favor of these Auburndale Eagles. They are 3-2 on the season, coming off of a very successful season last year under Chad Weinfurter, the head coach. Newman Catholic looked like they were primed for a potential statement win here, but that was only a 7-point lead at the half. There was so much basketball left to be played, like I talked about, and just like that, Auburndale again outscoring this Newman Catholic team 13-4. so far in the second half. Newman Catholic really struggling to find those same opportunities. Can't help but feel like maybe it has something to do with the fact that Piffner had to come out of the game due to those 4 fouls. He is back in now off the timeout, but has to play a little bit more conservatively than he would like to now that he has those 4 fouls. Just gets to a point as a player where you feel like if I can't play up to my full potential, and this one's going to go up for you too, just like you saw there. There's only so much Piffner can do when he knows one more foul and he's out of the game, as this one's now stolen away again. Putting this one up, no good. Another one of those rebounds where Auburndale just out-hustles the opponent. 3-pointers up and good. 18-4 run since the start of the second half for these Eagles. And now they lead by as many as they trailed by going into the half. 3-pointer from the corner, that one bouncing off. Some of that luck running off a little bit from Quincy Fender, as a jump ball is now going to be called Newman Catholic's way. Shouldn't have said the word luck necessarily for Quincy Fender. It just feels like he's kind of lost his shot a little bit in terms of at least those wild circus act type shots. Driving in here is Griffin Pent. He gets it off to Piffner. Piffner drives in, lays up for it, and will get fouled. He'll go to the line, but based on his body language, you know he was hoping for an and one opportunity there. Only the second foul the entire half for Auburndale. That's a big factor if this one ends up tightening up again. This one will find its way in. Coming out now, coming in is Sievers. He will replace William Akins. And we'll see how much this Newman Catholic offense changes now that we see the 6'4" player for Auburndale out of the game, as this one gets fed in. And we see the and one. Newman Catholic with the point from the free throw, now an opportunity for a 3-point play and an opportunity to potentially make this a one-score game again. Got Weinfurter back in the game as this one goes in. 4 points right out of the gate here for Newman Catholic. And that kind of brings an end to that tear that Auburndale was on, but they still do lead by 3. Weinfurter hands off there to Teska. He drives in. Now underneath the basket, all too easy there for Graysack. Piffner will take it down, toss it over to Fender. Erdman up top. 3-pointer now by Fender. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Erdman. Piffner drives in and gets it to go. And it feels like he almost has a chip on his shoulder trying to make up for those fouls early on in this game. Now getting to a more comfortable position where 9.5 minutes left in the game, still with 4 fouls. But at what point do you make that aggressive move to try and stop something from going in? Up top here, Lundgren will hand it off. Graysack retreats back out. And like I was saying, you see that perimeter defense change when Akins comes out of the game. Newman Catholic seems to play a little more loose, and that is going to be an offensive foul called here against Auburndale. You see kind of that hook happen near that shot, and it prevented that Cardinal player from closing out. That's one of those situations where you see the immediate impact of a foul. Referees are going to talk something over here. It'll be the first foul against Teska. The ref's going to talk to Coach Weinfurter, who is not happy over there on the Auburndale side. Auburndale seems to feign pressure, but then falls back on defense. Fender will hand it off here to Piffner on the reversal. Piffner tried to find Fender there, but just too many Auburndale players in the way to make it happen. Into the corner, now driving in, and again you see the exact same play from Graysack the last time he scored. Faking the three with some space, using that space to lay or drive in and put up the easy layup. Damian Pence over to Everett Pence, or excuse me, that was Piffner. Now Fender gets the pick, works through pressure. 3-point shot is up, no good, but rebounded here by Fender. Fender puts up the three, bouncing off, and then the foul's going to be called against Erdman the other way. That'll be his second of the game, and the sixth now for the Cardinals. And just like that, we see Akins back in the game. It feels like Auburndale likes especially having him in the game when they have a lead. Auburndale leads by 5 with 8 to go here on the NTC scoreboard. Bring it off there to Graysack, now over to Teska. Into the corner, three is up and drained by Joshua Lundgren. One of the 4 seniors for this Auburndale team. He's been a big factor in the very quick comeback at the start of the second half. And now 8-point lead for Auburndale. Fender draws the foul there. And that is going to be against Graysack there. It's one of those situations where I feel like it's a frustration for Auburndale, but it did feel like he was fouled. It just, he also oversold it. But if it was a foul, it was a foul. Underneath the basket, second opportunity, no good. Third opportunity upcoming here, though, as Piffner drives under the basket, loses it, though. It's taken now by Lundgren. Into the corner, 3-point shot is up. No good that time. Quickly over to Fender. And that one will poked away. It will stay with the Cardinals. Newman Catholic doing everything it can to not let this one slip away from them. Again, they were up 24-17 going into the half, and this Auburndale offense has exploded. Newman Catholic just coming up stagnant here on the offensive side of the ball, giving up many turnovers. Serwanka handing it off to Fender here. Excuse me, that's Piffner. Pence in the corner now lays it in. And he does that same thing that Graysack did on those couple possessions. It's back to a 2-possession game as a timeout is called here by Auburndale. And we will be right back after a few commercial messages.
30-second timeout taken by Auburndale.
Good evening, folks. Matt LePay here. Ridgetop Exteriors is kicking off your roof replacement like pros. Old shingles off, decking down, ice and water guard set. Textbook protection. Underlayment follows. Sealed tight like an O-line. Valleys flashed. Shingles installed row by row. Captain ventilated. The crew scoops every nail, leaving no yard marker behind. This project's wrapped. Your turn to call the play at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Welcome back here to Zaleski Sports. Auburndale with an absolute tear to start out the second half. It's mellowed out a little bit as now it's kind of been a back and forth affair, but Newman Catholic trying to dig into this deficit they now find themselves in. They are down 6 with just over 6 to go in the game. Newman Catholic 2-4 on the season, 3-2 for Auburndale. In a Merriwood South battle as Fender tried to get that takeaway, fell out of bounds before he could make anything of it. Teska looking for someone, and he will find Weinfurter. Working now against Griffin Pent, taking it down the court. Reversal to Teska, tries to drive in, nothing there. He'll get the pick this time and draws the pressure. Might be Cerwonka on it that time. Instead, it's going to be against Damian Pent. That's his third on the night. So out of the starting five, that one goes in for Auburndale. Out of the starting five for Newman Catholic, we got one player in Piffner with 4, 3 for Damian Pent, and then 2 for Fender. This point in the game, you start to worry less about the amount of fouls these players have. You have to have your best players out on the court. Down 8 with 5:45 to go. As Damian Pent swings it over to Griffin. And now Piffner puts up the 3, bouncing off the front of the rim, rebounded by Akins. Akins takes his time, realizing he doesn't have to do anything, and now a foul's going to be called as Akins was a little overzealous with that shoulder, or with that elbow, I should say. And that contact will send things back to Newman Catholic. Newman Catholic playing kind of a scrappy brand of basketball that's keeping them in this game. Cerwonka getting it out to Piffner, and that's actually Damian Pent, who drives in, can't go anywhere else with it. Fender now in the corner. They're letting Newman Catholic get the ball to him, but then boxing him in. Foul's going to be called, though, against Auburndale. Auburndale's fine with Fender getting the ball if he's in that corner. They just don't like him with space. This time, though, it results in the free throws coming up. Both teams now with 7. There was a point where Auburndale was very clean. First few minutes of the half, they only had 1 foul, and now both teams with 7, both teams with the bonus. Make things a lot more interesting down the stretch as Fender nails his first free throw. $14 points on the night here for Fender. Back to a 6-point game, and breaking the ankles there of Fender. Getting some space. Fender able to get back up top. Teska working to find some space. Fender hounding him, and that's going to draw a foul. And the Auburndale side of supporters here in Newman Catholic applauding the physicality. They are matching the energy of these Newman Catholic players. So this will be a 1-and-1 on the other side of the court. 4:42 to play. As that one is made. And so, 2 free throws on both sides. Fender driving in, faking that shot, getting it back out. Defense is absolutely smothering these Cardinals late in this game as Piffner works out of it, puts up the 3, or excuse me, the 2, and it's good. Raymond Teska. 6-point lead for Auburndale. They're hoping to drive the nail in over these next couple of minutes as Weinfurter under pressure up top. And then that foul is going to be called. And this is the point where talk more and more about the shot clock and how it is still not implemented here in the state of Wisconsin. That just makes things so difficult for teams to mount a comeback. This one will find its way in. It's been a dogfight all game long. This one off the front of the rim, but rebounded here by Auburndale. Still up 7 now with an opportunity to build that out even further. This one almost taken away. Up top to Lundgren. Lundgren already with 21 points on the game. Auburndale understanding they can dribble this ball out and just take some time off the clock here. Driving in, putting up the 2, and that's going to draw the foul here. No choice really for Erdman but to take that. He really wasn't in a position to make that play. As a timeout now going to be called for Newman Catholic. And we'll take a timeout with them. Be right back here on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Welcome back here to Zaleski Sports. Connor Philippi on the call. 3:16 to go. It has been a very interesting game so far. Newman Catholic going into the half up by this same total by 7. But Auburndale storming back. Went at one point on an 18-4 run, reclaimed the lead and then some. And then Newman Catholic just had a really hard time battling back. It really hasn't gotten away from them fully at any point in this game, but they just have not been able to gain any ground. And now Auburndale is trying to just run this time out. Getting to a point now where every foul called against Newman Catholic is 2 points for 2 free throws for Auburndale, no matter what. That one rattles out, 2 straight missed free throws. Erdman battles for the rebound. It winds up in Piffner's hands. As Piffner drives in, can't get the layup to finish. He gets a second chance, though, off of Erdman's work. And now all of these free throws will be super important. Makes the first one. 12 points on the night here for Piffner. Off the front of the rim. Breaking out of that pressure. Wide open look, and the layup is good from Weinfurter. Fender puts up the 3 from the corner, and he gets it to go. Makes it a 5-point game as he now reaches 17 on the night. Erdman almost gets the steal, but it results in Newman Catholic being put in a tough position there, and it forces another foul. Erdman felt himself get so close there to that steal. It would have really changed the course of this one. Could have made it a one-possession game with still 2.5 to go. First shot is up and good. Second shot made as well. back to a 7-point lead as Piffner takes it down. Fender up top. He puts up another three, this one bouncing off. Erdman can't get the rebound that time. And Auburndale now with only about 2 minutes to go, trying to salt away this victory. And that's going to be a foul against Damian Pent. Another trip to the line, really the only choice that Newman Catholic has at this point. Again, no shot clock. And another timeout here is going to be called. We'll take a brief one with them and be back here on Zaleski Sports.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Welcome back here to Zaleski Sports, as it is a 7-point lead here for Auburndale. Time almost running out here for Newman Catholic. We'll have to see what they have up their sleeve as another timeout was taken by Jeff Gress. But we'd like to remind you that there is plenty of sports action still to go throughout the course of the next few months for winter sports, girls and boys basketball on Zaleski Sports. And so make sure that you are not just watching these two schools, but you're watching all the schools that we have to offer on Zaleski Sports. Next week, of course, will be kind of a slower week, as it is the holiday season. And Merry Christmas to everyone who is celebrating. This will be my last game before Christmas. But we do have a slew of about 10 or 11 games on Monday, and then 7 on Tuesday before the holiday break. One of the two shots finds its way in for Auburndale. At this point, Newman Catholic going to have to either score very quickly or try and get some threes up and then continue to foul on the other side. Damian Pent driving in, has to throw up the shot. Nothing called there. Both players kind of pushing against each other there underneath the basket. Raymond Teska now. Under a lot of pressure here. And the Cardinals almost getting a steal there. Fender wanting that one back as he had a hand on it at some point. Foul now called. And Lundgren will go to the line. He's already got 23 points on the night.
Foul on number 3, Damian Pent, his fifth. In for Newman, number 4, every.
As this one will find its way in. Auburndale just been able to dominate things under the basket and just completely take over the game in terms of the turnover battle. Those have been the two biggest factors. Fender over to Piffner. Now up top, three-pointers up from Griffin Pent off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Fender, but stolen away by Teska. Lundgren taking it back. Over to Weinfurter now, and Auburndale's going to try and just dribble this one out. Instead, Newman Catholic wants to force him back to the line with Griffin Pent being charged with the foul. First shot is up and good. And this one good as well, 12-point lead. That'll about do it with less than a minute to go. Fender from beyond the arc here. He will drive in, and he will get fouled. We'd like to thank once again Ted Fox. He was the sponsor of our starting lineups, the sponsor of our halftime show. He is a certified financial planner and a proud Newman basketball parent. And a reminder here to stay tuned for our Merrill Steel post-game show. We're going to interview, most likely here, Chad Weinfurter, the Auburndale head coach, and looks like it's going to be Joshua Lundgren who gets fouled here. Take a look here as these final few seconds are going to tick away with Auburndale securing the victory. They're going to improve to 4-2 on the season. And they will also improve to 3-1 within the conference in this Merrillwood South. Second shot will find its way in. Auburndale is going to be playing Marathon on the 22nd. That'll be a big game as Marathon leading the Merrillwood South and is currently 4-0 on the season. As for Newman Catholic, they're going to lose this one, drop to 2-5 on the season, drop to 2-2 within the Merrillwood South. And so that will do it. Last 10 seconds ticking away. Make sure you stay tuned for our Merrill Steel post-game show. Consider you're moving your career to one of the largest growing fabrication companies in the upper Midwest and apply at merrillsteel.com. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Merrill Steel welcomes you as you join us in a virtual tour. Our main facility in Schofield, Wisconsin covers an area of roughly 46 acres and is home to our company headquarters. From this location, paired with our facilities in Comanche, Iowa and Springfield, Missouri, we are able to easily fulfill the needs of the industry nationwide. With nearly 1 million square feet of combined space between our three facilities, we are able to take on some of the biggest and most complex jobs, making us one of the top 5 steel fabricators in the country. We employ the best of the best welders, those who can weld efficiently with both metal core and flux core, and who aren't afraid to work hard. We also offer on-the-job training, so even beginner welders can learn the ropes and help us build it big. As a backup to our dedicated weld fab team, we have a robotic welder. Merrill Steel is the 4th in the U.S. to have gotten one, keeping us on the leading edge of technology. With the combination of both man and machine, no job is too big to handle, but they'd have no work on their hands without our machine operators. Where our fabrication process really begins is here. Our skilled machine ops team is responsible for bringing in the raw steel. Be it sawing, cutting, drilling, or punching, they make sure the steel is in the correct shape and size for our fab teams. As an addition to the machine ops team, we've recently purchased multiple Python X machines. These handy systems have given us increased productivity, unmatched cut quality, and predictable and consistent throughput. Moving away from fabrication, we come to our coating department. One of the unique benefits of working with Merrill Steel is our in-house blasting and painting capabilities. Many projects require a complex coating system, and that's where we shine above the competition. We regularly apply corrosion-resistant coating in-house, as well as intumescent fire protection when needed. We hold the endorsement for sophisticated paint and coating from AISC. This, along with our NACE certified inspectors, ensure a high-quality finish for every piece. The loading and staging process, sandwiched between the end of production and shipping, is an important step in the fabrication process. Within a moment's notice, we are able to handle and place an entire load onto a trailer for quick delivery to a job site. Finally, the last stage in our process is shipping. Our transit company, Merrill Steel Transit Services, is a wholly owned subsidiary of Merrill Steel Incorporated, consisting of more than 20 state-of-the-art trucks designed for transporting oversized and overweight shipments, along with hundreds of trailers ranging from 48-foot flatbeds to heavy-haul Jeep and booster combinations. We employ only the most highly skilled professional drivers, highly experienced mechanics, and knowledgeable office staff who work as a team to provide cost-effective service in a timely manner. Our shipping fleet is a major reason why we are able to be competitive throughout North America, including the contiguous 48 states, Alaska, and Canada. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit about us. We look forward to having you join us in building it big.
Welcome back here to Newman Catholic High School. It was a victory here for the Auburndale Eagles, and of course, I'm here for the Merrill Steel post-game show, and I'm here with Chad Weinford, head coach of Auburndale, and of course, Josh Lundgren. Start off with you first here, Coach. It was a 7-point deficit to go into the half, and it just felt like something was different. More takeaways, more just corralling their top players. What changed, if you can lump it into a couple sentences, that led to this victory?
Well, I thought our defense was a little more sound, like you mentioned, here in the second half. We had 10 turnovers at halftime, which is unacceptable. And so we took care of the ball better, and the ball went in. I thought we played harder. You know, we challenged the kids at halftime. We said the game plan is good. We're not executing it. And then I thought they came out and did a much better job of that in the second half.
Well, thank you very much, Coach. Happy holidays.
Thank you, you too.
I'll send things over here to Josh, and I want to talk to you a little bit about leadership. You know, this team faced a lot of changes, a lot of seniority, a lot of players graduating last season, and it felt like the senior class and the junior class of this team really stepped up into those leadership roles. What does it mean to you to be a leader on this team?
Yeah, I mean, from last year we lost 5 seniors or something, so there are big roles to fill. So I think the seniors on our team right now are still filling that in, and we're going step by step, and yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I'll have you do that last thing for me. I'll step aside, give you a 1, 2, 3, and you'll say, "I'm Josh Lundgren and I'm in the house."
I'm Josh Lundgren and I'm in the house.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays.